This is James Adams with your Cricket Wireless Fantasy Football Update. Today we're going to get you ready for the fantasy playoffs. We're going to look at running back matchups, both good and bad, for weeks 14, 15, and 16. Starting with the good matchups, the New York Giants have the most favorable set of three matchups as they play New Orleans, Atlanta, and Baltimore those weeks. Ahmad Bradshaw is right now the best guy to own in that backfield, but if you have him, or even if you don't and you need to fill a spot on your roster, Andre Brown's a good guy to get. 5.4 yards a carry and 7 TDs. Bradshaw's had injury questions as the years go on, and certainly Brown's a guy who could fill in and be a great replacement player to get you going. The Jets also have great matchups in weeks 14 and 15 with Jacksonville and Tennessee. San Diego, an average matchup in week 16. Sean Green could be a guy, be a sneaky play, a good running back to play throughout those weeks. Miami as well has a couple good matchups. San Fran, a bad matchup in week 14, but you get past that one. Jacksonville and Buffalo, both very good ones. Reggie Bush, a good guy to own, and Daniel Thomas, again, a guy you would want to go out and get to handcuff Reggie Bush if he's still out there. Denver, of course, Willis McGahee, he's been a solid running back all year, almost 1,000 all-purpose yards already. He'll face off against Oakland, Baltimore, and Cleveland. Doug Martin, again, a guy you would be playing regardless, has several good matchups, as does St. Louis and Kansas City. St. Louis, Steven Jackson and Daryl Richardson have decent yards per carry, but have only gotten 2 touchdowns on the ground between them. So good matchups, but not necessarily guys you're going to love to play. And the same thing with Kansas City. It's hard to pick Jamal Charles or Peyton Hillis, but both guys, ones you want to own, should something happen where one goes down, the other one becomes a pretty good play in the fantasy playoffs. When you look at the bad matchups, LaRod Stephen Howling has the worst matchup in those 3 weeks of anyone. Had a great week this past week 11, 127 yards on the ground and a touchdown, but he'll be playing Seattle, Detroit, and Chicago those 3 weeks, some of the toughest run defenses. He's a guy I wouldn't be leaning on. The next 4 teams with bad matchups have maybe 4 of the top running backs in fantasy, so it's going to be very difficult to figure it out. Adrian Peterson, the second worst matchups, but no way you can sit him. He's been on fire. Frank Gore has been great again this year. He as well has a bunch of bad matchups and hard to sit. Ray Rice, the same deal again. He's got great numbers thus far this season, but his matchup's not very good. And C.J. Spiller, the same. Fred Jackson, a question mark still, as well on that team. We'll see if he's back from concussion issues. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out, as really 4 guys that have become must-starts throughout the fantasy season, all with very difficult matchups as we get towards the playoffs. getsportsinfo.com is our website. You can check out all the information there. Of course, follow us on Twitter at getsportsinfo. You can like us on Facebook and tune in on Sunday. Follow me, Dan Klaskins, and Stephanie Theobald as we get you ready for the fantasy matchups at Cricket Wireless Fantasy Football Game Day on 1360 Fox Sports AM.